Let's wind the bobbin, raise the dead, because this is Haunted Thread, where ghost stories inspire my costume designs. We raise the dead with thread on today's episode that is about Sharon Tate, a rising star whose tragic death left a scar on Hollywood and a ghost that still haunts us in more ways than one. Sharon Tate was a brilliant actress and model of the 1960s, known for her beauty and talent. But her life was cut short in 1969, when she and her unborn child were brutally murdered by the Manson family. Her death not only ended a promising career, but also marked a loss of innocence in Hollywood, a ghostly shadow we still feel today. I wanted my costume design for Sharon to be an embodiment of the 1960s. So I was able to find a pattern online from 1968. And if you know anything about online patterns, they come with a lot of pieces. I felt that the fabric had to be from the 60s, so I found this 1968 chiffon floral print from Etsy. I always saw her in prints and yellow colors. Definitely something with floral accents, bell sleeves, that reflect both her beauty and her fragility of her life. And I noticed she loved wearing short, floral, printed, ethereal, flowy dresses. So I definitely had a feeling that this pattern took the cake. And for the lining, I'm using a poly blend stretch knit in a paler yellow, kind of like to symbolize her fleeting nature of her life. Some interesting facts about Sharon Tate was that she was born Sharon Marie Tate on January 24th of 1943 in Dallas, Texas, which makes her an Aquarius. At 6 months old, she was known as winning the Miss Tiny Tot of Dallas pageant. And she was originally a very shy girl growing up lacking a lot of confidence. Her father was in the military, which was the cause of them moving frequently. In 1962, Sharon finally moves to Los Angeles after living in Europe with her family. Sharon starred in a handful of film roles, including Eye of the Devil in 1966 and The Famous Valley of the Dolls in 1967. By 1967, her career accelerated, and she negotiated a fee of $150,000 for her next film. And she became pregnant near the end of 1968, and she and Roman Polanski, a famous film director, ended up moving to 10050 Cielo Drive in Benedict Canyon. And that would be the location where her life would be brutally cut short on August 9th of 1969. She was 8 months pregnant. Sharon's death has become a ghost story on its own, a reminder of the dark side of fame and the frailty of life, and the violence that shook an entire generation. But it's also important to remember her life, her humor, her kindness, and her beauty. To which is why I wanted to create these butterfly appliques from my Cricut to apply onto her dress, because they represent her life and her dreams. This costume isn't just about Sharon's ghost, it's about how we carry her story with us, how her tragic death changed the way we see safety, fame, and humanity. It's a haunting we live with every single day. This Haunted Thread put together this costume for Sharon Tate as a love letter, blending 1960s elegance with a ghostly tribute. And it's a reminder of her beauty, her light, and her haunting legacy. Speaking of legacy, let's listen to this rare interview that was conducted by my friend over at Famous Graves Company with famous movie star Elk Summers, who starred alongside Sharon Tate in The Wrecking Crew. It's definitely a rare look inside their friendship and also who Sharon was as a person, and the harsh reality behind her marriage with her husband, Roman Polanski.
I became very good friends with Sharon. I like women generally, you know. Right. Sometimes they don't like you, but I get along very well with women, and we became really very good friends. And what I'll never forget, she introduced me. She came to the trailer one day, to my trailer, and said, "Oh God, you gotta hear this. I know you love music, and I have this tape here of Leonard Cohen." Mm-hmm. And she gave me a tape. At the time, we didn't have discs yet, of Leonard Cohen, which I, of course, played when I got home and felt totally in love with. Mm-hmm. She introduced me to him. If it wasn't for her, I probably would have not met Leonard Cohen for a long time until afterwards. But she was very, very abused by her husband. And she came to me for advice. She says, "You know, you're such a good woman, and can you help me? What would you do? That and that and that and that happened." Mm-hmm. And I said, "Sharon, I can't imagine that happening to me. Sorry, I'm not better than you, and it's just different. I can't imagine. I mean, if that would happen to me, I'd brain him, or I don't know. Right. I don't know what I would do." Sharon, it was on numerous occasions, at least. And then she came to the house in the evenings. I cooked something. Mm-hmm. When he was out of town, and she was full of life and bubbly, and we laughed and listened to Leonard Cohen and sang with it, you know. Right. I like to sing harmony And she admired that. She says, how can you sing harmony? I said, well, Leonard Cohen is the easiest one to sing harmony with, because I just like it, And she was happy and to be here with me. But always these questions came up again. What shall I do? Do you think I should leave? I said, Sharon, if you love me, you can't leave. But you certainly can't subject yourself to being treated in such a horrendous, not physically, mind you, mentally, verbally.
Right.
In a horrible, horrible way. And then when he came back from work, we invited him here as well. And out of this bubbly, sweet little Sharon became a wide-eyed, staring at him and silent person.
Right.
And he was charming, mind you. Really. Great charm and a great presence for such a little sucker. But, so, her death, of course, moved me beyond, I can't even describe, especially why, how.
Sure.
How she lost her life. I was told, I don't know whether it's the truth or not, that Polanski had been to the ranch, to Manson's ranch, and knew some of the people involved. Now, I don't know whether that's true or not. It's just I've been told that, and that could very well be the truth.
Thank you for joining me on Haunted Thread, and remember, every stitch tells a ghost story.